Okay, let's talk about energy. And I don't mean that shaky, artificial buzz you get from a triple shot espresso that, just leaves you crashing an hour later. No, I'm talking about real, sustainable, all-day energy. It's time we moved beyond the quick fixes and really learned how to build it from the ground up.
So does this sound familiar to you? It's, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, your focus is completely shot, your eyelids feel like they weigh a ton, and your first instinct, that gut reaction, is to reach for another cup of coffee or maybe a sugary snack. It's this cycle that so many of us are trapped in. But what if that very thing we think is the fix is actually part of the problem?
We have to bust the biggest myth about our favorite morning ritual. Caffeine, it's basically an energy loan shark. It doesn't actually give you any new energy. All it does is silence the fatigue alarms your body is already trying to send you. And the problem is, those alarms just get louder and louder. So when the caffeine finally wears off, the payback, well, it's a much, much bigger crash. So if it's not a caffeine deficiency, then what is actually going on here? To really fix the problem, we've got to understand the science behind why we get so wiped out in the first place.
Okay, here's the absolute core difference. Real, actual physical energy comes from this amazing molecule called ATP, and it's made inside your cells. Just think of it like the biological battery pack that powers everything you do. Now, borrowed energy, the caffeine kind, that's just a trick. It's like putting a piece of black tape over your car's empty fuel light. Yeah, the light is off, but the problem isn't solved. You've just delayed the inevitable stall.
So what's draining our real energy? Well, science points to these 4 major culprits. Poor sleep, that's kind of the obvious one, right? But a sedentary lifestyle is sneakier. See, when we don't move enough, our cells' little energy factories, they just become less efficient. And as we're going to see, a diet high in sugar and constant chronic stress, those are like slow, steady leaks in our energy tank. All right, now that we kind of get the problem, let's talk about solutions. And the good news, seriously, is that you do not need some massive life overhaul to start feeling better. Here are some really simple, really powerful habits you can build into your day, like starting right now.
10 minutes. That's it. Just 10 minutes. Research shows that a brisk 10-minute walk can boost your energy for up to 2 hours. And for a lot of people, this is actually way more effective than a cup of coffee, and here's the best part, it comes with absolutely zero crash. It gets your blood flowing, gets all those good brain chemicals firing. Seriously, the next time you feel that slump coming on, try a lap around the block instead of a latte.
This next one is so incredibly simple, but we overlook it all the time. You don't have to be, lost in the desert to be dehydrated. Even a tiny 1 or 2% drop in your body's water levels can totally tank your energy and your focus. In fact, by the time you actually feel thirsty, your performance is probably already taken a hit. The easiest fix in the world? Just keep a water bottle with you and sip on it all day long.
Okay, this one might be my favorite biohack, mostly because it's completely free. Stepping outside for just 5 to 10 minutes of morning sun does something absolutely amazing in your brain. It signals you to shut down production of melatonin, that's the sleep hormone, and it triggers a healthy release of cortisol to wake you up. It is literally like hitting the master on switch for your body clock, and it sets you up for alertness for the entire day.
Now, those daily habits are fantastic. They're quick wins. But to create that really resilient, long-term energy, we need to look at the bigger picture. It's time to optimize the underlying systems in our body that produce that energy in the first place. We all know we need to sleep, right? But here's the crucial point. Quality trumps quantity. You can be in bed for 8 hours straight, but if you're not getting enough of that deep, restorative REM sleep, you're still going to wake up feeling tired. Consistency is your superpower here. Going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time, yeah, even on weekends, makes a huge difference. Have you ever wondered why that morning donut gives you this 20-minute buzz followed by an overwhelming urge for a nap? Well, this is why. You get this super fast spike in blood sugar, your body freaks out and releases a flood of insulin to deal with it, and then, bam, your blood sugar plummets, taking all your energy and focus right down with it. The alternative? Building your meals around protein, fiber, and healthy fats. They give you a slow, steady release of energy for hours, no roller coaster.
I want you to think of your energy like a budget. Chronic stress, that's like a massive recurring tax that gets taken out before you even get your paycheck. Your body burns a ton of resources just to keep you in that high alert, fight or flight state. And that means managing your stress, whether it's through exercise or mindfulness or just taking actual breaks, it isn't a luxury. It's a non-negotiable energy restoration strategy.
Now for a really fascinating one. Connecting with people you care about isn't just good for your soul,
It's actually good for your cells. Positive social interactions, that feeling of being seen and heard and valued, that supports the neurobiology in your brain that's associated with motivation and energy. So that phone call with a good friend? Yeah, that's a legitimate energy booster.
Okay, so now that we know what to do, let's take a really quick look at what not to do. Because sometimes the fastest way to have more energy is just to stop doing the things that are actively draining it.
Right, here are the big 3 energy drains. Energy drinks, they are the ultimate example of borrowed energy. They combine these massive doses of caffeine and sugar for a guaranteed spectacular crash. We've already seen what refined carbs do to our blood sugar. And chronic overwork, well, that just digs an energy debt that no amount of coffee in the world is ever going to fix.
Whew, okay. I know that was a lot of information. So where do you even start? Let's not get overwhelmed. The goal here is to make this simple and really, really actionable.
Here it is. This is your entire mission for this week. Forget everything else for now and just focus on these 2 things. Seriously, these are the highest leverage actions you can possibly take. If you can master sleep consistency in a daily short walk, you will have laid the foundation for a whole new level of natural energy. I promise.
So let's end with this one idea to really hold on to. Are you creating real energy, or are you just borrowing it from tomorrow? The choice to start building a sustainable energy practice begins right now, with just one small step.